Okay.
And yeah. Okay, Roland, it is all you. I am going to mute. Oops, too early. I'm about to mute myself, but I can still hear you. So let me know when you want me to go to next slides.
Yeah, I will.
Cool. Thank you.
You can follow the text. Hey, everybody. How are you tonight? Uh, you guys know that I'm Roland and I'm a photographer out of Ottawa. And welcome to the photography composition PD session. Uh, I've been doing photography for just over 10 years. My first year, you will see the first photo is of a snowy owl. I had no clue what I was doing. I went out, took a photo. I had a Canon T3 with a 250, 50 or a 55, 250 millimeter kit lens. And it ended up being one of the top photos of the year in 2015 with Canadian Geographic in the bird section. Just to let you guys know, I had no clue what I was doing. Uh, that's where I started. That was in the fall. I took the photo. I went in the spring. I had spent one summer studying sunsets, long exposures, to make myself learn about the products, learn about how to shoot, learn about filters, tripods, and this is where I'm at today. Before we dive in, any beginners in the room? Everybody has an idea? Okay. Seasoned pros? Anybody? No? Perfect. Even
Oh,
better.
I'm not a pro, but I do have a slight idea what I'm
Yeah.
doing sometimes.
So anyway, so no matter level, the tools we're about to cover, starting with the rules of third, this is a basic rule of any photos. I still use it today, and I preach it. But the rule of third has changed quite a bit. It's evolved. Now they have 12 rules of composition, and what we're going to do tonight was going to walk through them, and I'll show you the rule of thirds, and I'll show you the croppings and the different styles of photos you can create with it. It's not just about landscape. I also have portrait in there just to show you two different styles of portrait and so on. And then, of course, break the rules. So the rule of third, imagine if you guys know how to play tic-tac-toe, I you can bring up the first image. So you see the rule of third is printed on the photo itself. This is a backwards photo, but I know exactly what they're doing. If it was a regular person uh, in a field, I would have left the open space in front of her to tell the story. But this one is coming, it's where she's coming from. She's at a crossroad, very well positioned, very well cropped. Um, what else is it? It's got leading lines, rule of third, and it tells stories. And basically, photography is all about telling a story. The more story you can get out of it, the better the person looking at it will see how it is and how it's built. Now, just a quick trick photography on fields and when you're going with to shoot with models or what I would do is I would get them to stand on the road, get myself in the field, and shoot eye level to the field. This way here, it looks like the model's in the field. They don't have to get dirty, especially if they're wearing expensive dresses, and it looks much better, I find. Just got to make sure that you don't see the cut where the road is. These are little tricks I've learned along the way as trying to get better. So we're going to start with leading lines. Rule of third is there, and they're using the waves as the water washes away, I should say. It leads to the mountains. So that's what they're using to get to guide your eye to the mountain. It's very well composed. It is, and just so you guys know, I can't. Is the four squares in the center are your main squares for your rule of thirds. So basically, the middle square, the four lines around it. Sorry about that. The next photo would be the mountains, water, sunset. The leading lines are the mountains, and it conveys the story all the way to the sunlight for the glowing moments. I just picked these images so you guys know from Google, just so I can show different sides of everything, and for guys to have a different view on it. at the end, it'll all come together and it'll make more sense. The next image, again, it's got the rule of third, but I would have, when we were talking about earlier, for the ones that were late, um, this one here, I would have kneeled down a little bit just so I could get the door frame straight. The less cropping, the better the image is. So basically, position yourself right away to the right point. Will give you a better image. If you don't crop it, you keep the pixels better. And it's for some reason it works. For me, it works anyway. And the more pixel in the photo, the better it is. Portrait photography, it falls in two distinct styles, centered composition and storytelling. The one that we're looking at now has a story to it. Uh, if you're looking for yourself to be in a photo, this is what I would use instead of a dead-on photo, straight-on photo. There's leading lines, there's everything that has to be there, there's elements, there's a compelling story. I don't know if her face is happy or not, but most of us would have a happy face on there. We're moving on to the next photo. It's a landscape version of the rule of thirds. Lots of dead space. Oh, I must have missed something there. I guess I didn't copy all the text. So there's lots of dead space. For other stuff, could be a boat, could be somebody swimming, it could be the sunset, uh, could be a rock a smaller rock that sticks out in the water. The visual is appealing, uh, and it is very well centered. Going too fast, too slow?
Good, good.
Good. This is a new rule of the golden ratio, the spiral. You saw the rule of third. His head and his body is in the right-hand side. I would say he's at a rodeo or he's on a farm. Uh, Make sure that you're very close to that the square. So the squares are divided by nine, and this one, the top square itself, is also divided by nine, and he's on the bottom nine of it. It's a little harder to see, a little harder to understand, but it also conveys a different storyline. This is becoming more and more popular now. I don't use it as much unless I'm doing stairwells, staircases, like just a photo below. And then with flowers and plants, you can always use it as well. Golden spirals guide your eye through the frame, smooth, pleasing curves, often leading to a key subject. It's more fluid than thirds, better for storytelling and layered detail shots where you gradually discover. It's suitable for print material. An image on its side is description on the other. Spiral staircase is usually used this rule most of the time. Leading lines, well, this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's probably got a dozen leading lines in it. It's to look for them, see where they're at, understand how I create a reflection. This one was a look of the draw. Leading lines add depth, energy, or mood. Straight lines feel strong and formal. Curves feel soft and graceful. Uh, I I use lines to move viewer into the image. For here was the clock tower in Montreal. Now, of course, avoid lines that are leading out of the frame unless it's intentional. I don't think I want to use a leading line that goes out. I think it looks odd. Aspect ratio.
Roland,
Yes, sir.
when you say leading line going out of the photo, I mean, I can see the ones leading towards the clock tower, but I can't picture one leading out.
There's none in this one, but some do have them. All the leading lines in this one are going in.
Yeah,
Some do have that goes out. I don't find it attractive.
but I'm still trying to picture it. So where would the subject be?
Uh, I'll do. Just think what.
Isn't this
Like,
one clearly the subject of the clock tower?
yeah, this one is very pretty much dead centered of the clock tower.
Yeah.
Uh, like you know where the bridge is?
Hmm.
Let's say something was sticking up going from the top instead of the bridge. That would be out of the photo style. I'll find a photo and I'll add it later when I send out
Okay.
the PDF
Okay.
so you have an idea. Aspect ratios could be 3:2, 4:3, square, 16:9. I've used all of them in this presentation, so you can all see the difference. Um, the portrait photo here, her elbow, her arm are the leading lines. Her opening of her shirt are the leading lines to her eyes, to her face. This was for a magazine that ladies with gray hair and showcasing her gray hair. And I think everything else worked out well, and that's the photo they selected as well for the magazine. Uh, it's a storytelling image. The one below it, that would be if you're on the beach, uh, wedding, not wedding dresses, yeah, wedding dresses with the veils and maternity shoots where they have kind of a veil in it and it kind of flows away. But you also see where the thirds are, where the most important part of the thirds are is the person and the veil in the back that's at the same height. It gives you the full story about it. Want to go up, Jay? Layering, foreground, middle ground, background. Flat photos are forgettable. So you got to build your scene up, especially if you're traveling, as we do on media trips, press trips. You try to make your photo look as best as possible. So one way is to do is you have everything in focus. You have adds dimension and depth, especially in landscape wide shots and environmental portrait. Taking a photo as a sandwich. No one wants all bread. Add interest, create scale, draw the viewer through the image. I would create that as a long exposure, probably myself, uh, especially when there's water. And if you need settings for something like that, just ask later and I'll share some. So depth of field, shallow, deep. Uh, the settings are there. I don't really use those settings. I kind of go with what I want the image to look like. But this is where I would say that moving around gives you different images. Uh, I use separate the subject from the chaos, which here there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of branches. There's a big tree in the back, lots of grass in the front. Control what the viewer notices first, which is for me, it's the snowy owl and the post he's on. And settings for the three images were all f6.3, just so you can see I've kept them the same. So there's two more images below with the perspective. As I change the perspective, it's the same image, just different focal settings and a different side of the fence. It's eye level, low angle, and high angle are the three photos that we're using. And then kneeling, standing on the chair or on a small ladder, can you make your photos 10 times more interesting? For me, it's all about perspectives here and different emotions. You can use reflections, ground textures, or sky around to your advantage. It's hard to believe all these three photos are taken from the same owl, same day, within a few minutes apart. Simplicity. Uh, some photos are very simple. You don't clutter the frame. Specifically, what I can do with trees a lot. Simple mountain. Uh, remove the distraction. You can crop them out, and it has a lot of negative space, but it's a very what's the story? Easy story to tell. It's simple compared to the trees behind the snowy owl. Visual balance. Uh, I use reflections to do these all the time. It's a set of scales. I like the subject is on one side. You can balance it in a white space. Smaller subjects in light and dark contrast. It's not always about symmetry, but it does feel right. Balance creates comfort, water reflection. Imbalance can create tension. So use both intentionally. The photo is not fully centered. I created on an angle because I wanted that perspective at the end of the railroad to be my focal point. Framing inside the frame. I use elements, trees, grass, door frames, arches, doorways, tunnels. It add depths, it add context, and it helps to focus the viewer's attention precisely where you want it. Uh, it's great for street photography. I would use like a door frame. It's also great for travel. Uh, when your skies are not as nice, you can use a door frame or trees on top to kind of hide the blondness of the photo. Portrait, you can use it as well. Um, did you guys know that every time you look at a photo, it goes from left to right? Our brain's wired from left to right in most culture, and use it to your advantage. Compose so the subject moves from left to right across the frame for a natural sense. You'd be surprised, but I move all my photos right to left. I must be the oddball. I always concentrate on what I want to see on the left side. Uh, when you create something like this, you have a big open space, but it creates a full story about it. It helps create the direction as well of where your eyes are going to look. And of course, number 12 is to break the rules. Once you learned the different styles, the 11 other styles of rule of thirds and composition, you forget it, and then you start to create your own stuff. Um, Center your subject. Sure, if symmetry is good, shoot into the sun, good for mood and silhouettes. Cut off head, maybe that's your signature style. Um, yeah, sometimes you don't want the head in the photo. You just want the rest of the body. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes the imperfect shot is the one that sticks out. If it works, it works. I tried, I don't know how many photos that I think it's nice in the camera. I get home and it's like, really don't like it. I can't see what I was seeing earlier. So, but having it, uh, being able to crop it also means that I can change my mind and make something good out of it. Trust your guts. Shoot what moves you. These are different. As we travel and we're travel photographers, we get access to these hotel which are up in the air. Uh, it's not the best photo, but hey, you do what you can with it. It's also, you might have to write about it. A center square. The photo is there and you can see it. It's sellable. This is one of the new rules of third again, as the gentleman that was earlier with the ranch, very similar to that. Uh, it has so many leading lines. It has beautifully light exposed, dark background, mystery. Uh, it's something I like to look more into it. He is on the rule of third. It's on the top corner in the center corner or in the center space. And I don't know if you guys like it. I kind of like it. So final takeaway. Photography isn't just about exposure and gear. It's about vision. Composition is about how you guide your viewers through that vision. Master the basics. So that means practice. If something you're not strong on, it's not your strong suit, practice every day, every second day. Uh, Change something every time. If you're not sure about your settings when you walk outside, give yourself 5 chances to do it. The 5 chance will get better and it'll become 3 chances. I can walk outside any time of the day now, 2 to 3 chances of settings, and I'll get what I want already. So a nice exposure. The the products are very well visible, so I don't have to have too much grain at the end. And it's how I've done it for a long time. Then get weird, make it yours. You know, I've leaned over bridges. I've held myself on pillars. I've sat on railings to get a photo that I wanted. I want it to be unique. I want it to stay unique. I want it to be different. I don't want nobody else to copy me. I want to be me. That's how my photography days started, my 10, 11 years ago. And that's where I'm at again today, still using it. Open for questions and feedback. It's
I
going by
have
fast because there's still another section below it there.
Oh,
I
is
have
there?
one. Can
Oops.
we go back to the very first photo you showed? The one with the waves leading to the mountain in the back. I just
Yep.
wanted to ask about the cropping on that photo.
So that's a photo I took online on Google. So it's not my cropping, but it looks like I can look at yeah, that's the one there.
So that first one. Now, would where the water meets the mountain,
Yep.
should it be, should that be the crop? Because
It
it
should
looks
be.
like the top third is like the middle of the mountain.
It should be.
Okay, I learned something.
But being different makes it different. So I would have done like a more space on the right-hand side, more water,
Mhm.
and I would have removed that last little round bubble on the other side, whatever that is, trees or mountains. I would have removed that and have a clean mountain with water in it.
Gotcha.
Roland, on the topic of cropping,
Yep.
you mentioned, I guess, a general rule to avoid cropping because it would affect the number of pixels. Why does that? Why do I care about that?
So if you're doing magazine products, so you're being
Hmm.
published, you want to get the best resolution as possible.
Okay.
Basically, I set up my photo in my camera, in my viewfinder, where I want my rule of thirds to be. So
Okay, but
let's say I have a tree in the field.
mhm.
I want to make sure that tree's already on my rule of third line.
Okay.
Then I can crop around it if I need to.
Right,
But
but cropping around it in that instance, that doesn't affect the number of pixels. It's still the same resolution, isn't it?
it depends on what you're shooting with. So you're shooting with a point and shoot at 12 megapixel. You want to keep as many pixels as you can on the photo.
Okay.
You're shooting at 24 megapixel, like with the Canon 6D or the mirrorless R7. They're about 22, 24 megapixels per photo. You can lose some.
Mhm.
I find with the mirrorless, I lose my pixel very quick.
I've got a 6D.
I got the 6D and you know what? I barely use my R7.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've had mine since 2017 and it's the workhorse. It goes almost everywhere with me and it is yet to let me down.
exactly. And I can take my content out of it, upload it to my Lightroom,
Mhm.
and there's no issues with the pixels.
So I have a very random question that's kind of on point, but kind of not. What do you say to people when they say, "Hey, Roland, your camera takes great pictures"? Like, are you offended by that? Do you reply like,
You
I don't
mean
think they understand the difference. I
"Okay,
don't
after
think they
they
understand
send it?
the difference. Oh, is someone else asking a question at the same time?
No, no, no. I was just being silly. Never mind.
Okay. So I can fool you and I can post, and I've recently posted iPhone photos, and I won't tell you if they're iPhone or not.
a good picture's a good picture's a good picture, right?"
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
does anyone else have any questions at the moment? Or we're not shutting it down, but there is another section
Mhm.
to Roland's presentation, but I won't go there until or unless people have no more questions at the moment.
If you don't remember the questions, you can always message me on Instagram or email me directly, and I'll answer any questions. I'll guide you whatever you need to move forward. If it's cropping, if it's information, if it's suggestions on something, just reach out and let me know.
Oh, okay, Roland, but I don't want to forget my question. When you mentioned a good photo tells a story, I kind of understand that if it's a photo, but
Yep.
if it's destination piece and they want 10, 12 photos, is any editor going to say, well, there's too many standalone photos here that are telling a story, obviously a different one from each photo?
Exactly. It should be a different one from each photo. So
Right, but
everything should be unique.
I understand, but
What kind of story you want to tell?
Okay, but of course it all depends on the photo and what you're trying to write about. But no editor is going to say, well, there's too many dramatic, not dramatic, but impacting photos here, right? From your
Yeah.
experience?
I don't know. Usually I send a folder and they pick what they want. So
Okay. Oh, well, that makes
yeah.
sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I send a folder in. Basically, that's how I work it. So um,
A folder would be like 30 pictures.
30 photos, yeah. Just pick what you want.
Okay.
But the story itself has to,
Hmm.
like the
Hold on
church, yeah, the church
on its
photo.
own.
It the trees around it, the cars are fine. The cars, I normally don't like cars. I don't like hydro lines in my photos.
Mhm.
But in this one here, in the church photo, you don't see it. Like your eyes are actually focusing right there.
Mhm.
Your eyes focus right to the cathedral.
Right.
So that's a story. Everything flows into make it the cathedral is your star as your main actor if you're writing a play. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Okay. And just before I forget, you mentioned you can take very good pictures with your iPhone, but they're not likely to be acceptable for a magazine, right? They're just not enough resolution.
It's 4 megapixel. It's it's enough.
4 megapixels. Okay, thank you.
That's what I'm talking about, cropping and non-cropping. So if
Mm-hmm.
you don't crop it, you keep 4 megapixel.
Okay.
So that's when it becomes important to create your vision in your viewfinder or on your phone before you take the photo.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have it, it's in pretty much close. You just kind of tidy up the photo. You save time, you save editing time, you save everything.
Okay.
So none of these photos are iPhone photos that I posted today, but I
Sure.
do use them a lot.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
No. Okay, let's go to the evaluation
So
portion. So Roland asked Devinder and I to flip a couple of pictures of ours. Um, and I will let Roland do his thing from here and go on mute.
So I'd asked for images to show you how I crop stuff and how I do stuff and what I look at and what I look for. So I received 5 images, which I verified and edited. This is not to put anybody down. These are suggestions only to improve your editing, to improve the storyline, to improve your goal. My goal is to help you get better in photography. So the first photo is the artisan glass. I know exactly what they're doing. And were these raw, Jay? Perfect. So these are raw photos. So I cropped them and I edited them in Lightroom only. I do not remove anything. This is what the photo they sent me, and below you'll see the difference. What can be moved when I look at the photo? For me, the car, I would have asked to move it, the car that's in the background. I could have moved myself. As I'm taking the photo, I could have chosen a different angle. Uh, what kind of light you're working on? You have really bright outside, you have really dark inside, and reposition yourself for a cleaner frame because I don't like all the stuff on the edges. So even a quick test shot will help with time and practice. You'll start to visualize the image before you even hit the shutter. Now, if you look at the edit below it, this is what it came out as. I moved the wall out just to just so the focus goes right to the glass blower and what she is doing.
That's wow, Roland, that's okay.
Is that your photo?
Sure is.
Okay.
The top one's mine.
Yeah, okay.
Not so much the bottom. That's awesome though. That's it's a completely different picture. That is lovely.
So
Good
when I
story.
also say different height, different angles,
Mm-hmm.
being lower by where the tubes are,
Yep.
shooting upwards would have given you a totally different angle.
Okay.
It would have still concentrated on the globe. It would have showed her better, but instead of the car, it would have showed the trees in the back more.
Gotcha. Oh wow. Okay. Noted. On to number two.
So we know who drives cars around here. Cars in nature, of course they always take us in nature with cars, trucks, whatever. Um, the settings are popular visual for choice of content creators, offering a sense of movement, adventure. I crop this image at a 16 by 10 ratio, which brings the car closer into the frame. It enhances the storytelling element. The road's entrance acts as a leading line, naturally guiding the viewer's eye towards the direction the car is heading. The subtle compositional shift creates a more dynamic image with straightforward narrative. And if you look below, that's my edit on the bottom.
It's so subtle, but it makes such a difference.
It's only a crop. I probably could have warmed it up a little bit more. I kept it a little on the cooler side, but
Mm,
I just wanted to show that the lines where you're going, it's your story starts right from you and then where it's going to end up at.
cool.
Is that yours as well?
Sure is. Uh, and we'll go for the trifecta of me, then we'll get to Devindra's pictures.
Oh, that's yours as well.
Yeah.
Landscape with unique perspective. This is really unique. I don't remember the last time I wanted to capture something like this, but it was a challenge and it was fun to do. It captures a narrow sandy point surrounded by water, with the two-thirds of frame filled by dramatic clouds and blue skies. Perfect example of how to use composition to tell a story. I cropped the image to emphasize a one-third foreground and two-thirds sky. Why? Because the people on the sandbar feel small and isolated, while the vast skies above adds a scale of atmosphere. It's a simple scene made powerful.
All right, let's see what you did. Oh, well, that looks way better.
Very different. So when I say one-third, so from the sandbar, at the tip of the sandbar, that would be one-third of the rule of thirds.
Hmm.
The other two-thirds are your clouds and above. How majestic it is. And
Wow. Okay. Yeah, nice. Very nice. All right, next up.
so the late reflection, framing for impact. Excuse me. Lakes and their reflections are classic subjects in travel photography, but how you frame them makes it all different. The image needed a tighter crop and a clean 50-50 composition, splitting the image evenly between the lake and its mirrored sky. The bottom half tells a real story with the reflection added visual interest and balance. And yes, the rule of thirds still play a role here. Notice how the focal point rests along the lower thirds, grounding the image and guiding the viewer's eye naturally through the frame.
Okay,
So
let's
my
take
rule of third on this is the little trees
Mhm.
that are a little red. That's where I selected it to balance out everything else. Is that the second frame? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the original
Yep.
and tightened up and oh wow. Huh.
So all you did was crop. You didn't enhance the photo or anything.
I warmed it up a little. No, so I don't even think I warmed it up as much. Yeah, I warmed it up a little bit and I cropped it.
Okay.
Okay, last one.
This was my favorite actually because I know Newfoundland so well. The shipwreck composition, there's leading lines and balanced light. Everything's there already. It was just to recrop it to something unique. So I chose to highlight the shipwreck by emphasizing natural leading lines to the scene. The walkway serves as a primary lead-in, drawing the viewer's eyes directly towards the subject. A secondary line is formed from the rock on the right, guiding the gaze towards the water. These elements working together, the image now feels balanced and thoughtfully composed. I added warmth to enhance the mood and applied a tighter crop to straighten the focus. The result is a well-lit, visually engaging composition with a clear sense of direction and story.
All right, let's take a look. That's the original.
Oh,
That's a pretty good response, Devindra. Oh,
yeah.
So for me, that little sign that was at the front,
That was distracting.
it
yeah.
distracted me right away. It took my
Yeah.
eyes right away to it. And when I say hydro lines, that's the same as a hydro line for me. unless I have the full sign in it.
Hmm.
So it looks different. It makes it feel different, and my focal goes right to the shipwreck.
Shipwreck. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow.
I hope
Okay.
that was your storyline, but that's mine now.
Well, it is mine now.
So, no, I
Yeah,
love this.
I was trying to get focus onto the shipwreck.
Yeah. So, rule of
Okay.
third, it's at the 50-50 mark probably, but it all works out as well as the stairwell leading.
Hmm.
Cool.
Any questions?
Get out of here for a sec.
Roland, I think my key takeaway here, I'm done eating. I can put my camera on and show my
No, no,
face.
no, no. You can't show up now.
Why? Sure I can. Um, I should. In fact, it would be rude to ask a question without doing that. So I think my key takeaway here is if you know when you're shooting that you have enough um, resolution to work with based on your final product. Like I'm always shooting for web.
Yep.
So I should focus more, I think, on thinking about how to compose the image afterwards in post, and that I like because very often when I'm shooting out on the road, it's just really quick, rapid fire stuff, right? You hit the moment, you get it, but then you look at it and you can tell it's a good capture, but it needs work. So it's do you more often apply these rules after the fact? Because I think you said at one point that you do it what in the viewfinder mostly to save time.
Well, it's save time. It's save time, save cropping, save pixels. It saves a lot of stuff. So basically, I just set up my photo uh, in my viewfinder. So one of the things that people don't really do is look at the four corners of the top two corners and the top bottom corners of your viewfinder. That's
Mhm.
where you're going to find distractions. That's where you're going to find a branch that's in your photo that you might not want. So it gives you a chance to kind of just move over a little bit more
Mhm.
and then adjust if you want to get closer or farther to the subject you're shooting. Uh, for me, I just try to visualize a photo right away when I look at it.
Mhm.
I do super long exposures, and I know what I'm going for before I do the exposure because I don't want to crop anything when I'm done.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So try to
Uh,
prepare it mentally in your head, and when you look at it, like just say, "Oh, I got to look at the corners." Click.
Mhm.
You know it's clean. There's nothing in the way. There might be a bird flying by you don't want.
What's a super long exposure in your definition?
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I use filters with high f stops, and I can do. I can't show one now. If you go on I posted recently the Parliament of Ottawa.
I saw that picture.
Yeah, there's a bright one, but there's a very dark one. So that's probably about a 2 minute.
Mhm.
Got one about 5 minutes, just so you can see the heavy contrast. But the more you learn about long exposure, is what it does. It gets the colors out that you don't see.
Mhm.
So at sunset, some of the colors, oh, it's too gone. It's not too gone. I set up my tripod, do a 2 minute, 3 minute exposure, 5 minute exposure, and I go get the colors back.
hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
assume.
Roland,
Yes,
a quick question. Can I edit iPhone photos with Lightroom?
you can.
Okay,
Yep. Just make sure you save the raw to your folder and then upload them to Lightroom. They have Lightroom for your phone as well.
Mhm.
okay,
As a package, you get both.
okay,
Uh, Sometimes I might use it. Usually I use iPhone settings to edit on my phone.
okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Do you have a magic formula for iPhone settings? Like, is there something that iPhones consistently don't do well when they shoot that you can just sort of go toot 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 and it's fixed?
You know what I do with my iPhone? I turn it upside down.
Yeah.
I have my focus right here.
Mhm.
And when I want to take my photos or videos, that's how I hold my phone. That
Yeah.
the rest, I adjust a little bit of the light on it if I can see it, and I edit the rest in light in iPhone settings.
So
Mm.
for anyone who's watching this on the replay, a couple of weeks from now, um, If you could simplify an explanation as to why you hold your phone upside down and what the advantage is over holding it the
Right side up.
yeah, or the default way.
So you're shooting a tall building. Let's see the cathedral that we saw in the photo. You're in front of the cathedral. So my focus is going to be at the door and not on you. And I'm going to have to take my phone and tilt it like this to get the whole cathedral because it's a tall building. Doing it like this, my focus is going to be right on you, and I only have to tilt a little bit to get all the cathedral. There's just something about the angle it gives that works.
Hmm.
In restaurants, if you're shooting food in a restaurant, another trick, phone upside down, put a napkin under it. You can slide your phone through the counter to the table.
I learned that from Peter McKinnon like a dozen years ago.
So these are all little tricks that I could probably work with my phone most of the time. But if I do need content that has to go to a magazine, I want to make sure that I get the top content that I can get. So the best pixels I can get, the best crop right away, the best image that I can send them, because that's what you want to represent your best.
Has anyone said to you no iPhone pictures or no smartphone pictures in anything?
Oh, not yet.
Do you think we're going to get there?
Not yet. I think it's the AI is going to be
Hmm.
the killer.
So I want to make sure I get my order of words right. Is editing your pictures just a very light version of AI? Because it's not the same as what came through the lens.
So editing your photo is editing your photo. Modifying your photo with replacing something, that's different. And even at that, it's offered on every platform. You can change your skies. You can change your background. I can grab my phone just on my phone and press the main photo that I have and change the background of it. You won't even tell the difference.
How much is too much?
How much is too much? For me, it's saturation. Don't
Is
use saturation. Don't
is
use
there
saturation.
is there a parameter that you like to live within saying, okay, if I move it between these goalposts, we're okay, but if we go here, it's not the same picture. It doesn't count as my own composition because it's been so far altered.
So my composition, if I do it, will be all my content.
Mhm.
I will not say we got the content. It's my content. I shot it. If I want to change the background of your photo of the car, it'll be my content.
Okay.
I'm keeping it myself. It's not that I go online and say finding someone else's photo, or I just go in Lightroom or Photoshop where you have the skies. You can change the skies. You have the settings in Photoshop, and you have a selection of their skies.
Does AI have a place in
In
the
photography,
future?
it does
And what is it to you?
if it's used properly. Now, asking AI to create, and we saw it many times this winter, a photo of the Parliament of Ottawa. And people think it's a real photo because they've never seen the Parliament of Ottawa. But you have the bridge next to it, which there's no bridge because you're looking from the behind of the Parliament. So those image I'm not really a fan of. You use it to make your work better, and given another year or two, magazines are going to be writing everything with AI. Uh, they're going to create a magazine with AI. I can see it coming.
I think it's probably coming a lot sooner than
5 years.
oh, I'm thinking
Oh, it's coming in. Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking 5 months, like with just the way it's being pushed so hard. And I
Exactly.
think it's important to learn and understand AI,
Yep.
not for the sake of using it to replace us, um, but just partially to be able to spot the difference between, or at least try and strengthen your ability to spot the difference between what's this or what this is and what a couple of prompts are.
Exactly. And no, AI is scary right now.
It's yeah, it's a lot, and every social platform has some version of it. Like Zoom has it. They're like, "Would you like us to take notes through our AI assistant for you?" And
So,
it's
but it couldn't answer me how to set up my PDF, so I can do it on my own.
but it's an evolving world, and we haven't seen anything change this much so fast, so rapidly. I don't think ever, well, not ever. I guess the last one for us was the birth of the internet,
Yep.
where it was no longer phone calls, right? It was messages and emails and DMs and all that. So
You set up there and you turn your computer on and go cook dinner, come back and it's finally online.
right, so
But
it's that's interesting. I'm done talking for a bit because I feel like I've monopolized the last 10 minutes. So, Bruce, Devinder, or Jacqueline, if you have any questions or
Yeah,
any.
I do. Um, yeah, I do. I just wanted to um, say something about or ask something about a Samsung phone.
sure.
Because when you say, phones, not everyone has an iPhone.
No, no, exactly. So it's all phones are for me, I would use your phone, just I would use mine. The pixels, I'm not sure on your Samsung. If you hit the photo and hit info on the bottom, it should open up and give you the information on the photo itself that you took on your phone, and it'll tell you the amount of pixels on it.
Yeah, so you're saying 4 megapixels
Yeah.
is a good place to
Yeah.
be. Okay.
I've just sent photos to Kangeo and they're at 1.3.
Oh,
Yeah. Because I had to
oh,
crop it drastically to get
oh,
what they wanted as a result.
uh,
Is that
okay. That's
cool?
thanks.
Welcome.
Is that through Alex Pope?
No, someone else reached out for Canada Day.
Oh, cool.
Uh,
I don't know if this is really on topic, but as we speak, I can take a picture of anyone out there, right? But if I decide to publish it, I still need their permission.
Legally, you should. I don't know how many do.
Mhm.
Uh, if you look at my
Mhm.
content, there's
Does it?
rarely photos of people in it purposely.
Mhm.
When I create content for restaurants, when I create content for destination, I'll visit the restaurant when it's empty.
Okay.
I'll still take my photos, the food, everything else, but for that part, I try to keep it empty and I will disclaim it at the bottom. I go in, visit, just to try to avoid people and crowds.
Okay.
I've
So
been harassed. I've been harassed. I had a, lady walking by and big brim hat on, and just the way she was holding it, it was a beautiful photo, and you can only see the side of her face. And I posted it, and I got harassed by a couple of people. That's when I first started. Of course, nobody told me she was a lady that charged money for spending time with you, so I didn't know.
um,
He was coming out of a hotel. I had no clue. I was agreed to photography.
can we have a quick chat about watermarks?
Watermarks. There's several ways to go about it. If you use Lightroom or any software to edit your photos, uh, even in your camera settings, if you have your camera, just go into copyright. There is a setting on your camera. Go into your settings, find copyright, and put your name on it. That puts a hidden tag on the photo.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's one. The other one is yes, you can add a copyright or a watermark uh, in Lightroom.
Hmm.
That also says your photo. Make it nice. Don't make it crappy. I don't use mine because I don't like mine, unless I really have to. Um, if you're on Facebook and you post a lot on Facebook, there's about 20, 30 groups that are from outside Canada. They will say they're from Canada. They're not. Check the phone number. You'll see it's not Canadian. They steal photos. They push them out as their own. They
Yeah.
don't give credit, but they'll put your text to it though. They'll just remove your name to it. Uh, they make about 5,000 US a month per account. I've reported them many times because they're using my content to make money. And they're probably making good penny on my just on my photo itself. So
So based off, so then wouldn't that encourage you to put not big, massive watermarks, but just something in the focal point of the picture
I'd
to,
have to put the watermark in the middle of the photo. And with AI now, I can remove your watermark.
oh,
So it'll
oh,
take time. It only takes a few seconds.
oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
It is. It is. It's becoming like I work hard. I
Mhm.
make about $8 a month on Facebook, and these people are making about $1,000 per photo.
Yeah, it's not great.
But if they wouldn't mind sharing it from my account to theirs, oh, that'd be more beneficial for me.
You let me know when that happens.
Jeez, Jesus. Uh,
Um, as we get wrapped up, because it's almost 8, and I know we started around 7:10. What's the future of photography?
Future photography, I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be competitive with AI. I don't see it dying yet.
Good.
No, I don't know how long I'll do photography for. At
Like,
first, when I first started full time, I said I'd do it till I'm 75. Uh, this year's been very challenging. I don't know how about you guys, but noticed my contracts have gone down the drain or for free or postponed for the next 4 years.
yeah. Um, so you mentioned that you do a lot of shooting on your phone
Yep.
as opposed to the big cameras. Um, do you think that ratio will continue to increase over, let's say
Probably
the rest of this year? Let's go short term.
for myself or anybody else.
Let's go you first, and then what you think of the state of the industry for
I
us.
probably use it about 30% compared to 70% of my camera.
Okay.
It's probably to stay the same. And 30% is probably restaurants and hotels when I walk in.
Mhm.
I shoot my content with my phone. Easier crop, easier fix, and go.
Right.
The money contents on the outside of that is where the activities we do is where I use my good camera and um, you know how like when you shoot in the car, you want the best content.
Yeah.
Um, I just find hotels, it's overexposed on one side and it's underexposed inside. And I got to get the tripods out and I got to get
The lights out.
yeah, lights out and do long exposure and gets on my nerves. It's too early. Uh,
Fair.
I think photography right now, mm, just local photography is probably about 70-75% phone and 25-30% cameras.
And do you attribute that to the convenience factor of reaching in your pocket or your purse or your bag, as opposed to, like you said, the cameras, the flashes, the lights, the tripods, maybe the multiple tripods?
It's the ease of it. And a lot of people came out of COVID as photographers.
And some and
Influencers.
some have kept going. I think that's one of the few brighter spots, right?
Yeah,
Not that it quite forced us, but a lot of us uh, out in and out of the travel world learn different skills, partially
exactly.
by necessity, partially by habit. And um,
I probably had 100 influencers here in Ottawa before COVID,
and now,
probably about 500.
really,
Yeah, they're coming out of the woodwork so quick.
huh?
I don't know a third of them anymore because it's changed and they're growing accounts like social media accounts. I got no clue how they're doing it.
I think Devinder can speak to that, but I'm sure he won't. But that's okay.
I know how they do it, but
Yeah,
uh, it's just not the style that I'm doing it.
yeah,
So I still show my
No
numbers.
comment.
yeah. Does anyone else have any questions for Roland before we get wrapped up? Going once, going
No,
twice.
no, I just want to say thank you so much, Roland. This was informative.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I knew some, but it was good to hear, somebody else who knows what they're doing.
I think the takeaway is good, but I think if you actually go out and do it with someone, I think that's where you're going to get the best takeaway out of this PD session. Is to actually organize like a small groups in your area, my area, and actually go out one evening or one afternoon, actually do it in person so I can show you the results of what I talk about. So
All right.
it's
Well,
it's
you're
hard to
welcome
explain.
you're welcome in Mississauga anytime, Roland.
I'm trying.
I know. I know.
Everybody wants it for free. So,
Cool. Well, we'll get this put up in a couple of weeks, maybe next week.
perfect.
I wish there were more people, and just maybe people had commitments or they were tied up or whatever. But thanks for doing this and
Welcome.
the slides and all that stuff. And
Anybody has questions, if you don't follow me on social,
you
uh,
should.
you can always send me an email or send me a Facebook message saying, "Hey, I need help with this," and I'll take some time and we'll just do it a one-on-one if it's easier for you guys.
Cool.
Okay,
I
well, thanks for your time, Roland.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Okay,
And thanks, Jay and Devinder, for setting this up.
and thanks to Steph for not sharing her tacos. Good job,
Right on,
Steph.
right on.
Okay, hang on one sec.